On this episode of Motorhead Garage, Brian learns how to maximize horsepower by managing engine temperature. But before that, Machinist Mate demonstrates its revolutionary cleaning products. Next on Motorhead Garage.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Well, if you've been through love bug season, or you have any kind of bugs on the front of your car, we got the product for you. We have Ed here from Machinist Mate. Ed, you have a whole array of products and one specially designed for those bugs.
That's right, John. We have the Splat Bug Remover. This is 100% natural, fully biodegradable product. It's completely safe for all surfaces. You can use it on plastic, leather, glass, vinyl. It won't hurt anything. It won't even hurt you if you spray it on your skin. It's not a solvent. The way it works is that it releases the bond that causes the bug to stick. So you have to spray it on dried on bugs so that it can soak in, and then you have to give it a minute for it to work. But once it soaks in, it'll wipe the bugs will wipe right off with little effort whatsoever.
Perfect. You sprayed it right here. Is it ready to work?
Yeah, I think we've waited long enough. So you can see here, we'll just wipe it off.
They're coming right off.
See the bugs come right off easily with little effort, and it won't even take the wax off the car.
That's great. No bugs on there. Well, tar, road debris, pine sap, all kinds of stuff going on with the car. What do you got for that?
Well, we have our tar and tree sap remover. This is also a Splat product that will remove troublesome products like tar, tree sap, bubble gum, sticker residue, paint. Here you can see that kind of went at this car.
Wait a minute, I saw you spray it earlier. I've never seen anybody vandalize their own car before, but especially as nice as this. But actual spray paint, dry, I mean, it's on there. That's not coming off, and you got your tar right there. So let's see it work.
The tar is tried on, so
I'm ready for this.
This is very simple. You use very little of this product, one spray, and you can see it takes that paint right back off the car.
Oh my goodness.
Doesn't hurt the clear coat at all. And this is dried on tar. Again, one spray, and you can see it take that tar right off the car.
No way.
It's simple as that.
Wow.
We have a 100% money back guarantee on all of our products. We've never had a product that someone's used to return.
Well, come on over here. What about this rust freeze? I know you told me a little bit about it earlier, and super impressive as far as sealing some of this metal up and stuff. How does that work?
Well, rust freeze is a very unique product. It has the consistency of water. It's a binary product. There's a part A and a part B. As you can see, this product is it's nearly clear.
It is.
And when you put it on metal, you can see that this piece here has two coats on it. You can see the shine on there. This has penetrated 2 mils down into the base metal, and it seals out any opportunity for oxygen to reach a metal. So this will never rust again as long as it isn't braided off. The product is so strong that even if you were to put hydrochloric acid on here at about 40%, it won't eat through it. It's a very tough product.
Wow. Now what about if it's already rusted?
Well, in this case here, you can see that this piece was already had rust on it.
Right.
And here we've put 2 coats of rust freeze on it. You put the product on very, very thin, right over the rust. You don't have to prep it or grind it or sand it in any way. We recommend that you take a wire brush just to knock off any loose rust. Sometimes if it's really, really heavily corroded, you knock those loose pieces off because you don't want to coat those. So the product works very, very well. Because it has the consistency of water, it gets places that no other rust inhibitor can get. On this Mustang, we can use this as a good example. If you're restoring this car, you have, if the car has been out in the weather or anything, and you sandblast this off, all these pinch points where you have these spot welded seams, any folded lips like this, anything, there could be rust in the corrosion in there.
Yeah.
Even if you were to dip the car and get that out of there, once you've painted the car, that's a point that's still unprotected metal and it could rust back through.
Right.
So with rust freeze, you mix up a very small amount of the product and you just take it and run it along that seam, and it'll wick down in there all by itself, sealing that.
Yeah, I mean, I sandblasted some components. I think that would be an awesome, just put it in there to protect it. Where can we get these products?
Just go to machinistmate.com and we'll be glad to help you out.
Well, Ed, I'm in awe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Bug Splat by Machinist Mate. I'm going to go out and get my bugs off. You take a short break. We're going to be right back with more Motorhead Garage.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is being brought to you by Diesel DIY. Quality, precision, repeatable, and dependable. Brothers Trucks, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. We're back in the shop, and we're back with Ed from Machinist Mate, and we're back with a whole new slate of products. And Ed, I'm starting on this end of the table over here, and as a guy who hangs around with John Gardner a lot, I understand the meaning of the words nut job completely, but that is a nut job, and I've never seen it before. So what am I looking at?
Well, this is a detailing tool. It's very unique. It's a multi-purpose tool. Obviously, with its name, the first purpose of it would be to clean the nuts on your car. These are, nuts on a car are very difficult to get in and around. This product reaches right all over that and cleans it off in place of a sponge. It also has an end that will get into nooks and crannies and cracks as well.
You got multiple sizes as well, so if I got a truck or an RV, I can also go clean my stuff, clean my wheels and clean the lug nuts as well. Yeah, that's big. The expanding end is pretty genius because you can get right around there way better than you'd be able to get in there with a brush or a scrub. That's just fantastic.
Right. You can even take these and flatten them out to get into areas like in between the spokes on your wheels and so on. Or even on a motorcycle, you can get the spokes on a motorcycle like this.
Yeah, and if you get a wire wheel, you can chuck this thing in a drill. You can work your way around a wheel, any type of wheel really, but it's a fantastic way to really maximize it.
These will go from one lug nut to another very rapidly. You can work your way around inside the polish and so on. It's a very unique tool.
My favorite words on this as well, made in the USA, so
Yes,
very cool product.
Yep.
Moving into the middle of the table, I'm not the best carpenter in the world, not the best home repair guy, and unless you have the, X-ray vision of Superman hanging drywall and then cutting out your electrical boxes is nearly impossible, but you guys even have a solution for that.
Anybody who's ever done this job will absolutely love this, and this is so intuitive you can actually see immediately what it does. We have an electrical box, a piece of sheetrock. If you were to put this, normally you'd have to measure that and cut it out. In this case here, now you see where that box completely is, and you can mark it. It's marked and ready to cut out.
Totally genius. You can go right in here with your drywall saw and cut your box. It's going to be in the right place. You won't have the issue where you cut the box, hang the sheet of drywall, and the thing's offset by 1.5 inches. That is a brilliant idea.
Yep.
Now there are different shapes and sizes of electrical boxes. So is there solutions for everything other than the just the standard issue rectangle boxes?
Yeah, you can see that this is our corner pieces. These are very durable items. They will last a long time. The corner ones are for a corner box like that. The straight ones would be for a round box or anything that's irregular in its shape. You just put multiple of these on there and then do the same thing, cut it out, and you're done.
Now, this product to me is the most interesting just because, there's glues named after animals, there's glues with all different kinds of superlatives, but you guys have gone straight to atomic glue. So that must mean we're at the top of the glue food chain. I need to know what atomic glue is and what it does and how it works.
Well, we'll see if we can demonstrate it for you to your satisfaction. Here we have a piece of PVC. You can see that we've fixed this many times. We'll do it again. I have taken a file and filed this to the point that
you get a hole in that,
we have an actual hole in here, so you can see that. And we're going to repair that. Atomic glue is an anaerobic glue. It uses a different principle than most super glues. It looks like a super glue, but it's different in the fact that if that was a super glue, you'd be after it right away because it would dry. This product will not dry until you take the oxygen away. So we're going to take the oxygen away with our atomic expander. And what this will do is as soon as we apply this, that will harden
that crack.
So it filled the crack. Now we're going to put just a little bit more glue in there.
So you can build this almost like you're welding the thing together. You can build a whole bead right on top of it.
So now if you touch that, that is already cured.
That was like instantaneous.
And just that quick. That's good for up to 5,000 PSI, 750 degrees.
Ed, I was going to ask you, you already answered my question, but man, up to 5,000 PSI in a pipe repair like this, depending on what pipe it's going on, obviously. So we're obviously in Motorhead Garage. That means we need to talk about body repair, and atomic glue looks like it's perfect for that as well.
Yeah, here we have a piece of fiberglass that's been broken, so we're going to repair that. And you simply...
And you prepped the crack, you went in there with your file,
yeah,
you pre-filed it.
So
get your
simply
nice notch.
going to apply the glue, and now we're going to apply the expander.
And man, I'm going to do it. Yeah, see, as you're applying that expander, it's curing to the fact that we can touch it, and then you can file it and do your final prep work.
So from here, we'd flip it over and do the other side.
Get maximum strength.
Right.
Well, Ed, all these cool products can be found on machinistmate.com. That's where you can learn more about the products we see in front of us. But what about stuff that maybe someone's developed at home that they want to get the word out about?
Well, if anyone has developed any products at home, please feel free to give me a call. I'd be more than interested in talking to you about bringing your products on television and helping you market them nationally.
Thanks very much, Ed. And we're going to be back with more from Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, in just a minute.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, coming to you from Corla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. Now, there's nothing better than seeing one of these new motors, computer command control, turbocharged, fuel injected, repurposed for an older vehicle. Speaking of older vehicles, we got a gorgeous Bronco right here, but the real magic's under the hood. There's a Coyote Motor sitting under here with a gorgeous install. We got with us Jason from BC Broncos. Now, Jason, tell us, what did you do to get to this point? I mean, if I wasn't a car guy, I'm looking under here thinking this is a factory brand new vehicle right off the lot.
Yeah, thank you. What we started with is a brand new crate motor, 330 horse from Ford. There is no modifications to the frame, to the firewall, or the core support, or the hood. We just need to move the inner fender on the passenger side about 1 inch out, just because the width of the motor is too close. Other than that, there's no modifications to anything else. We spent a lot of time designing parts to fit the truck, so that if you did ever have the odd reason to take it out and put it back to factory, you could, nobody would know.
Yeah, you could see that. Now, what about all these wire harnesses, the hoses, everything's tucked in there real nice. I mean, what's going on with that?
Well, what we did is Ford changed the engine in 2015 to a smaller computer, and the wiring was quite a bit different. So what we did is, instead of requiring you to modify any harnesses or anything, we put the computer between the inner and outer fenders, had a custom shield made so that it's protected, and ran all the wires through the inner fender, the AC lines, all the body harness, engine harness, all of it is wrapped right through there, and it all disappears.
Which gives you this whole engine compartment a phenomenal look. Also, tell me about some of these components. Now, you do the radiator all the way back, the engine, I mean, the brake boosters, you can see it all looks brand new.
Yes, sir. What we can do is we have anywhere between just single parts all the way to a complete kit, from radiator to fuel tank, from steering column to body lift, the whole package.
And this is a whole plug and play. You said you got it from Ford. I mean, the ECM, the computer, I mean, you're taking a carbureted engine out of here. You got a brand new modern fuel injected engine with 400 horsepower to boot inside of a Bronco. I mean, this is phenomenal. Tell me a little bit about what do? They just take the car to you and it all happens? You do all this magic, don't you?
Yes, sir. You can bring it to us. We charge about $6 grand to do the complete conversion. Drive it in, carburet it, leave completely different.
That's it. No worries, no headache. I'm going to have everything right here.
Yes, sir. It takes about a week.
Wow.
We've spent a lot of time designing and setting up. We're also the people that designed many of the components, the serpentine, the modified headers, the motor mounts, the AC, the air ducting, all the air tube and all that stuff. And it just works out really good.
You can see all the professionalism put into it. Now, this is the Coyote Motor. You also do it with the EcoBoost. Why don't we take a walk over and take a look at that?
Sure.
We're talking EcoBoost, twin turbo motor. Now, Jason, our Coyote motor, I know you guys did some modifications on the front and stuff. This one here, not so much. You guys pride yourself on not cutting the frame and using some existing holes and making a really nice custom fit. Tell us about this install.
Yes, sir. What we did is, as you can see, this engine is a little bit smaller than the Coyote, but horsepower-wise, it's only a little bit less.
Yeah, it had 400 foot-pounds of torque.
Yes, sir.
That works.
What we did is we changed the oil system so that we did not have to modify the frame. We built our own custom motor mounts. And so right now, as of yet, there's no modification to the frame or to the body. Works out really nice. Our serpentine system, this is actually Ford's system here. What they did was made it such a tight, compact package that we didn't have to do anything to it. We're working on 2 types of steering, conventional power steering and electric power steering. So we can do it as is, just like this, or we can add the power steering pump. Also, the AC is optional, but it's all just direct bolt-on stuff. There's no, you can get it at any parts store or direct from Ford.
Right, just plug and play. OBED 2, computer command control, programmable, nice. Also, the transmission, this has to be specially designed for this package?
We have a custom transmission 470 made so that they basically shear off the bell housing and build a different system there and use a custom bell housing to bolt directly to the EcoBoost.
Which makes it a perfect install. Where can we find it at?
bcbroncos.com.
Stick with us. We have more Motorhead Garage presented by Dustless Blasting right after the break.
This edition of Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting, is being brought to you by Eli's Diesel. Do it right. Do it yourself. Molly Motorsports, driven by performance. Borla, the world's most winning exhaust. And by Dustless Blasting. It's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. You know, heat is a factor for making horsepower. It's also a factor that can rob you some horsepower. And I'm here with a guy that knows all about heat, my buddy Kevin Tates from Heatshield Products. And you guys have a full line to help everybody manage those underhood temps.
Thank you for that. Heatshield Products is a problem-solving company. Hot rodding is problem-solving, and Heatshield Products has solutions across the board, from welding tools, heat dissipation tools, protection tools, as well as all the products that you see here and a whole lot more. Thermal insulation can, like you say, buy you back power and actually allow your engine to make more power.
We see multiple products here. Obviously, one of the things I think a lot of people are familiar with is, you know, wrapping or covering exhaust manifolds or headers, but there's a lot more that you guys offer than just this.
Absolutely. It's so important to control those underhood temperatures and isolate the fuel system, isolate the air intake charge. The air and the fuel don't care. The cooler, the denser that air-fuel charge can be, the more power you can make, the more of those molecules and dinosaurs that we can create into power and transform into power, right?
Totally the name of the game. And especially for stuff like spark plug wires, keeping the heat off, longevity-wise, you're going to get way more longevity out of your spark plug wires. They're not going to crack, and you're not going to have arcing.
Absolutely. It's about maintaining what you've got, creating that environment that your engine and your computer, your electrical systems, all the cooling, everything functions properly, and isolating heat, protecting the equipment from those elements, that's absolutely important.
And it's important for comfort too. We've got this catalytic converter here. Obviously, these are going to be mounted up under your floorboards,
Yep.
and if you're cruising down the road, you don't want to be melting the bottom of your shoes off.
No, and a CAD is a very important device, but it's 1,700 degrees coming out the backside of it to burn off the contaminants, and that's right under your feet. So it's important to shield, and we've got solutions for the CADs for the entire exhaust system.
Well, not only exhaust system, but we like making horsepower around here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the intake system. You got an LS truck intake over here.
Yes.
Modern composite piece. How can we actually help make some horsepower with Heatshield products?
This is out of a 2013 GM pickup truck, and this guy wants better fuel economy, and he wants more power at his right foot in stop-and-go traffic. It just makes more sense. So the guy that's running down the road, it's just as easy for him to buy back that 11 or 12 horsepower, which is verifiable on the dyno,
Heck yeah.
with a simple DIY project. It's really, really trick.
Well, let's walk through the installation of one of your kits for this intake manifold.
Okay, the IM Shield. Now, there's IM Shields for the LS3, Coyote engines, LS7,
Oh, cool.
and several other engines that are right out of the box. You don't have to cut and fit. But this one is a little bit oddball. And this intake manifold has a nice contact surface here, and you have the IM Shield kit that you just draw out a template, cut it to fit. You can tidy up the edges if you want. It's peel and stick, put it on, put it back on the vehicle,
Cool, man.
and we're up and rock and roll.
Well, I know you, and I know the level of your craftsmanship, so let's get that Pro Edge going. Let's get this thing set up and go.
Okay.
So when you get the kit,
Well, here, I'm gonna walk you through it.
okay, cool. So the kit comes. We have a sheet here. Obviously, this looks like it has some adhesive on the back of it. You have a nice protective layer on here for us to get our setup going.
Correct. This is peel and stick, and we'll deal with that once we've made it. This is a large enough piece for any intake manifold. So what you want to do is set it up on top of here. This is obviously inverted where your intake runners are going to be.
We're going to come right off the bottom of the runner here.
Yep.
All All right, so we get the bottom of our runners marked out.
So we can take a straight edge here. I like to use either single edge razor blades or a razor knife.
Okay.
And you don't have to be a master craftsman.
Oh yeah, cuts nice. Cuts nice and easy too.
It's easy. We'll get rid of that for now. Here's a cool little trick. Run an edge down here, and I'm just eyeballing.
Yeah, just lightly scoring it.
Just lightly scoring it. Make sure you don't go through the other side, and we can peel this off here. And now,
that's where you get your pro edge from. All right, so we got our edges folded over here, and we're going to basically set it on the bottom of our intake manifold, correct? Now, we want to just slit these?
just slit those, and it'll come down over the top of it.
Oh, perfect, I see, okay. Now we get that beautiful contact, now that we're nice and even down the bottom of the intake.
Right. And that's it. In the time you and I had this conversation about this product, we're done.
Man, you were right. Over the course of a quick conversation, we got this piece added on here. It's beautiful. It's going to make us some power, and it was easy.
It was easy, and there's enough material in the kit to go over all of the runners. It's most important right over top of the valley. Right here, we're eliminating that heat soak, heat rises. We're stopping it in its tracks, and it's virtually invisible. We've created a nice hot rod edge just in case you can peek down in underneath that intake manifold and see it, and it works. It does its job.
Kevin Tate's from Heatshield Products. You can go to heatshieldproducts.com to learn a whole bunch more about their entire product line. And that's it for this episode of Motorhead Garage, presented by Dustless Blasting. We'll see you next week. We got to go bolt this intake back on, man.
Okay, I'm ready.